Okay, so get this right. What if AI could actually, like, teach itself, constantly leveling up, getting smarter and smarter? Sounds like straight up sci-fi, doesn't it?
It kind of does.
But it's happening now.
Sure, it really is. And it's a potential game changer for, well, how we develop AI in the future.
For sure, and that is exactly what we're diving into today.
That's right.
Can those, those super brainy language models, LLMs like ChatGPT, can they actually be used to create like top-notch training data for other AIs?
Right.
And if so, why should you care?
Well, imagine AI development, but faster, cheaper, more efficient. That's the potential we're talking about here.
Huge implications, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So we've got this research paper, right?
Yeah.
It's called, let's see, Evaluating Language Models as Synthetic Data Generators.
Right.
And these researchers really went all in.
Oh, yeah, they did.
So they tested 6 different LLMs, trained 99 student models,
Wow.
and generated, get this, over 1.26 million synthetic training instances.
That's wild. Over 1 million.
That's a lot of data.
It is.
But before we get lost in the numbers, right, let's try to break down what they were actually doing.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the goal?
So they really focus on 3 key approaches to data generation.
Okay.
And think of it like different teaching styles.
Okay.
So the first one is called instance generation. And this is, it's like learning from example.
Gotcha.
So you give the AI a handful of human-created examples, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it tries to extrapolate and create tons of new ones that are similar.
So the AI is basically trying to, like, figure out the pattern and then just, like, riff on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotcha.
And then there's response generation.
Okay.
So this is like giving the AI a test.
Okay.
You give it a bunch of instructions and it has to come up with the right answer.
Like AI homework.
Exactly. AI homework.
I wonder if it tries to cheat.
Who knows what goes on in those digital minds.
Right.
Then the third approach is called quality enhancement. And you can imagine this like you've got a set of instructions and responses, but they're kind of rough around the edges.
Right.
The AI steps in like an editor, making the instructions tougher, or maybe the response is more detailed.
Like polishing a rough draft. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've got these 3 teaching styles.
Yep.
How do they actually compare them? Like, what's the process for that?
Right. So that's where this thing called AGORABENCH comes in.
AGORABENCH. Okay.
Yeah, and you can think of it like a standardized testing ground for AIs.
Gotcha.
So they basically keep everything the same except for the specific LLM that they're testing.
Gah!
That way, they could be sure that the results that they were seeing actually reflected the LLMs, like true ability to generate good training data.
Right. So it's a controlled environment, kind of like a level playing field.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Makes sense.
So like if you wanted to compare different chef's cake recipes, you wouldn't want them to use different ovens, different ingredients, you know.
Yes.
So AGORABENCH is kind of like making sure everything is fair.
I gotcha.
It standardizes the process.
So what did they find? Did the biggest, most powerful LLM, like, take home the gold?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting because it actually wasn't a size contest.
Oh.
The most powerful LLM that they tested, this one called GPT-4o, it wasn't always the best at creating the training data.
Wait, hold on. The strongest one wasn't the best teacher?
Yeah, not necessarily.
How is that possible?
That is the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And sometimes the smaller, less complex LLMs, they actually did a better job at certain things.
Okay, now I'm really curious.
Yeah.
Like, give me an example.
Sure. So this GPT-4o, it was great at creating new instances, especially for code-related tasks.
Yeah.
But when it came to quality enhancement, another LLM that they tested called Claude 3.5 Sonnet, that one consistently outperformed it.
Huh. Interesting. So different LLMs have different strengths, almost like they're specialized teachers.
It seems that way, yeah.
Interesting.
And it gets even like weirder because sometimes the less powerful LLMs even beat their bigger counterparts on specific tasks.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for example, when they were generating code instances, this model called Llama 3.170B Instruct, which is a smaller model, it often performed better than the larger Llama 3.1405B Instruct.
Huh.
So you can't just assume that, a super smart AI will automatically be great at creating training data for other AIs.
That is pretty mind-blowing. So problem-solving skills don't necessarily equal teaching skills, even for AI.
Right.
Like, what's the takeaway there? Like, why wouldn't a really, brilliant AI be just a natural at this? You'd think that it would be.
Right. Well, the researchers, they wanted to figure that out too.
Right.
So they They kind of dug deep into the data, and they found that there was no strong connection between an LLM's ability to solve problems,
Mhm.
like, on those benchmark tests,
Yeah.
and its ability to actually generate good training data.
So there's got to be something else at play here, right?
Yeah,
Some secret ingredient that makes for effective AI training data.
you're getting it.
Yeah.
And that's what they set out to uncover.
Okay. All right. Spill the beans.
Right.
What is this secret ingredient?
So they started by getting up close and personal with the actual data that the LLMs generated.
Okay.
They were like analyzing, the complexity of the instructions, the quality of the responses, even using other AI models to kind of judge that,
Wow.
and how diverse the examples were.
Right.
So it's like they were grading these AI teachers on their performance.
Yeah, it's not just about throwing a bunch of data at another AI. It's
Right.
got to be the right kind of data.
Precisely. And they really wanted to find that magic formula.
Yeah.
What combination of factors reliably predicts whether that training data would actually work?
Okay. All right. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay.
What did they discover? What's the recipe for success?
Well, they found that it wasn't about any single thing.
Okay.
It's more like a balancing act.
The balancing act. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so the difficulty of the instructions, the quality of the responses, the variety of the examples, all of these factors actually play a role.
Gotcha.
And, think about it like learning something new yourself.
Okay.
You need the right level of challenge, you need clear explanations, and you need a mix of different examples to really get it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's the same for AI.
You can't just bombard an AI with a ton of data and expect it to, learn effectively. It's
Right.
got to be tailored, just like for us humans.
Yeah.
That is fascinating stuff.
It is.
But I'm guessing there's more to the story. Right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They also uncovered some interesting insights about like the trade-offs between the quantity and quality of data,
Okay.
and the importance of how we actually communicate with AI.
Okay.
Those instructions or prompts that we give them,
Yeah.
that can make a huge difference.
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Tell me more about these bonus insights.
All right, let's do it. So let's talk about this quantity versus quality thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a common question.
For sure.
Do you really need to shell out the big bucks for that, top tier LLM to get the best training data?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of companies are wondering that. Like, do we really need to, break the bank to get those really impressive results?
Yeah, and what's so cool about this research is that it kind of challenges that assumption.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so sometimes generating a larger amount of data with a, less powerful and therefore less expensive LLM
Right.
that actually produce better results.
Wow.
It's like, you get more bang for your buck.
Interesting. So sometimes it's better to go for quantity over quality?
It seems that way.
That seems kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
You'd think you'd always want the best of the best?
Right, and especially if you're working with, like, a limited budget,
Yeah.
using a cheater LLM to generate more data,
Mm.
that might be the smarter move.
Hmm.
Of course, you can't just throw any data at an AI.
Right.
Quality still matters.
Right.
But, this research is suggesting that it's about finding that sweet spot
Yep.
between quantity and quality,
Right.
considering both the data itself, but also, like, the cost of the LLM.
Gotcha. So it's all about finding that balance.
Yeah, finding that balance.
Okay, that's really interesting.
It is.
And I think a really helpful insight for, anyone who's working on AI development or thinking about it.
Yeah.
So what about those prompts you mentioned? How does the way that we communicate with the AI,
Yeah.
how does that affect the data quality?
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
So remember those instructions that they gave the AI,
Yeah.
the what we call meta prompts?
Yeah, the meta prompts.
The researchers found that they had a huge impact on the quality of the data that was generated.
Wow. So it's not just about what you ask the AI to do, it's
No.
how you ask it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
It is. And so imagine giving someone directions, right?
Okay.
If you're vague and unclear, they're likely to get lost.
Right.
But if you give them really clear step-by-step instructions, they're much more likely to actually reach their destination.
Yeah.
It's the same principle with AI.
Makes sense.
These meta prompts need to be, precise and well structured.
Yeah.
So even with AI, clear communication is key.
That's a good takeaway. Can you give me an example of like how a poorly worded prompt might lead to bad training data?
Sure. So let's say, you're asking AI to generate training data for a chatbot
Okay.
that's going to provide like customer support
Gotcha.
for a tech company.
Yeah.
If your prompt is too general,
Right.
like you just say, create conversations about tech support,
Okay.
you might end up with like really generic and unhelpful responses.
Yeah.
You know, the AI might not grasp the specific language or tone,
Hmm.
or even the problem solving steps that are really crucial for effective customer support.
Right. It's not going to have all that context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And but if you craft a really detailed prompt
Okay.
that includes like specific examples of customer issues,
Gotcha.
desired solutions,
Yeah.
even the company's brand voice,
Right.
then you'll guide the AI towards generating much more relevant and useful training data.
Okay.
So the quality of the input really determines the quality of the output.
Gotcha. Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're, programming the AI to teach in a certain way.
You could think of it that way, yeah.
Huh.
And the researchers found that taking that time to really fine-tune those meta prompts
Okay.
that really paid off.
Yeah.
The quality of the training data improved significantly.
So there's an art to prompting, just like there's an art to teaching,
Yeah.
It's not just about being smart. It's
Yeah.
about being a good communicator.
Absolutely.
We're moving towards a world where AI can not only learn but also teach.
We are.
And the better we understand, how to communicate with it
Yeah.
and guide its learning,
Right.
the more powerful it becomes.
Absolutely. And that brings up some pretty big questions,
Okay.
about the future of AI.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, while the researchers were, really focused on testing these LLMs as data generators,
Yeah.
they also wanted to see what those student models, what they actually learned from this
No.
synthetic data.
Right.
Like, did it actually work?
Yeah. That is the ultimate test, right?
Exactly. And so what they
What
found
did they find?
was that these student models, especially the ones trained on data generated by LLMs,
Yeah.
that really excelled at that quality enhancement,
Okay.
they were actually picking up on some really interesting patterns.
Okay.
They weren't just like memorizing information.
Right.
They were showing signs of like deeper comprehension.
Wow. So they were learning more than just, like the surface level stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
the difference between like memorizing a bunch of facts,
Right.
and actually like truly understanding a concept.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
It is. It's like those student models. They were developing their own like unique ways of learning and problem solving. Based on the data that they were given.
Wow, AI isn't just mimicking human intelligence anymore.
Oh.
It's starting to like develop its own distinct approaches to things.
It seems that way.
That's both exciting and like a little bit unnerving, isn't it?
It definitely, it raises some interesting questions about like where AI is headed, right?
Yeah.
And what it means for the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. My brain is officially buzzing
Okay.
with all these like possibilities.
Yeah.
So where does this research leave us? Like, what's the big takeaway message here?
So it points to a future where, AI can learn not only from humans,
Yeah.
but also from itself,
Right.
and potentially, at an incredible speed.
That's both like thrilling and, as you said, a little bit daunting.
It is.
What are some of the potential implications of this?
Well, for one, imagine the impact on scientific discovery.
Yeah.
If AI can generate its own high-quality training data
Yeah.
and learn from it effectively,
Right.
we could see breakthroughs happening much, much faster than we ever thought possible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But couldn't it also lead to like some unintended consequences?
Potentially,
You
yeah.
know, like, what if the AI starts learning things that we don't want it to learn,
Right.
or starts like teaching other AIs things that could be, harmful?
Right.
That is a scary thought.
It is something to think about, but this research is still like in its early stages.
Right.
We're just starting to, to scratch the surface
Yeah.
of what AI can really do when it comes to learning and teaching.
Right.
And that's why it's so important to keep keep exploring, keep pushing the boundaries of our understanding.
I agree. Knowledge is power.
Yeah, for sure.
The more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to, to guide its development in a positive direction.
Exactly. And, this research really highlights the importance of responsible AI development.
Right.
We need to be thoughtful about the data we use to train these systems, the prompts that we give them, and the goals that we set for them.
It's like we're raising a digital child, right?
Kinda, yeah.
We need to nurture its potential, but also set boundaries and make sure it, grows up to be a responsible member of society.
That's a great analogy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we need to really think about the long-term implications of AI teaching AI.
Yeah.
What values are we instilling?
Right.
What kind of future are we creating?
These are some seriously big questions.
They are.
But it's also like incredibly exciting, right?
It is. It is.
We're witnessing like the birth of a new era in technology.
Yeah.
And we have the opportunity to actually shape its trajectory.
We really do. And this research is like a wake-up call.
Yeah.
It's a reminder of the incredible potential of AI.
Right.
And also the the responsibility that comes with it.
For sure. So what do you think?
Mm.
If we can fine-tune what makes, good training data,
Yeah.
could AI start learning at, like an unprecedented rate?
Potentially, yeah.
What would that mean for fields like scientific discovery, technological innovation, even, art and creativity?
I mean, the possibilities are limitless, right?
Yeah.
Imagine a world where AI can help us solve some of humanity's greatest challenges.
Yeah.
Climate change, disease, poverty,
Wow.
Imagine AI partnering with humans
Yeah.
to create, breathtaking works of art,
Yeah.
music, to really push the boundaries of imagination and innovation.
That's a future I can get behind.
Yeah, it's not about AI replacing humans.
Yeah.
It's about AI augmenting our abilities and helping us achieve things we never thought possible.
Exactly. And this research is like, a crucial step in that direction.
Yeah.
It's giving us a glimpse into, the future of AI and the power of AI teaching AI.
It is. It is.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
It is.
So much food for thought.
A lot to take in.
I feel like I need to go back and, listen to it all again.
Yeah.
Just to like process everything.
Uh-huh. It's a lot to take in, but that's the beauty of the deep dive.
Right.
It's about taking these complex topics
Sure.
and and breaking them down in a way that's both informative and engaging.
I agree. And, I want to encourage all of our listeners to, to check out the research paper themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And really ponder those big questions.
Yeah.
About the future of AI.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe one of our listeners will be the one to make that next groundbreaking discovery.
Exactly. That's what I love about this field. It's just, there's so much potential, so much yet to be explored.
It's true.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.